Hi, welcome to Warframe 101. I'm Moonchild1235, and today we're going to be talking about survivability in Warframe. So, survivability is determined by a number of factors, the main ones being health, shield, and armor. And today we're going to discuss what they mean and how you can improve them. So, if you look at your basic Warframes by going over here to the Codex, which is the left terminal in your ship looking at the navigation, click on this, you'll see all of the Warframes in the game. Now, all of them at base have differing levels of survivability based upon their abilities and their innate health, armor, and shields. So for example, we'll click on the face of the game, Excalibur. Now, Excalibur has at base, right here you can see at the bottom, 225 armor, 100 energy, 100 health, and 100 shield. So his health and shield are average. They should be around 300 by the time that he is max rank. Max rank in Warframe is 30. So, but his armor is 225. That's significantly higher than average. So, that means that he has a decent armor value, an average health pool, and an average shield pool. So, in Warframe, health and shields are separate, where health is independent of shields and shields regenerate over time. Now, what are not independent is health and armor. Health and armor inside of Warframe are relative. So that means if your armor is high, your health will receive improved benefits from it. For example, this frame is Atlas. Now, Atlas at base has 450 armor. That's a pretty significant value, second highest in the game currently. So, what that means is, for the same amount of health that I have, say I had 100 health versus Excalibur had 100 health, if we both took 10 damage, now Excalibur may take 8 of that damage. I may take 5 of it because I have a significantly higher armor than he does. What that also means is the higher your health bar is, the more effect you'll have on your armor. So if I have 1,000 health and 1,000 armor, then I'll have what is known as effective health. Effective health is what your health bar actually is after armor is calculated. So if you had 1,000 armor with 1,000 health, your effective health would actually be something like 6,000, 7,000. That means if you took 10 points of damage on that 7,000, you would take 10 points, since it's been equated from the armor to your health. So, that means when you're determining what would increase your survivability on your frames, you will look at their armor to health ratio. So let's look at a different one. Let's look at Banshee. So Banshee instead has 15 armor. That's incredibly low. A teeny tiny amount. She also has 100 health and 100 shield, which are the base values. So that means a lot of your effort, if you put it into armor, would not really go anywhere. It wouldn't affect your health bar in a meaningful way. Because even if you put on a mods are cards that change like this right here, Buzzkill, improve your abilities and their percentages and how they work. So, if you increased 15 by 100%, that would be 30. 30 armor is still not really a lot to talk about. So on a frame like that, I would say avoid armor. Improve health if you wish, but you won't get the added benefits from armor. Or, the third option, you could invest in shield. Since shield is independent from armor and doesn't get any kind of benefit, it will allow you to increase your survivability without having to worry about the other two factors. So, we'll look at some other Warframes here and make more calls on their survivability. So, a unique exception is a frame called Inaros. It's like the mummy from the Egyptian movies, or from the mummy. So, Inaros has at base 550 health, which is a lot over the base value of 100. However, he only has 200 armor. 200 armor is not anything to sneeze at, but since he has so much health at base, that means he'd be able to take the armor so much farther with his health bar. So, it would be wise on him instead of shields, since he has 0 shields. He doesn't have any shields at all. You would want to ignore shields altogether and increase health and armor. Now, let's go to a less extreme example. Let's go to Atlas. So, on Atlas, 100 health, 100 shields, but 450 armor. So you would look at that and you would say, alright, I should invest in health, but more importantly armor, since it has so much of it. If you increase that by 100%, you would have 900 armor, which would be a very significant amount of armor. Same thing if we went over here to Valkyrie. Valkyrie has the highest base armor in the game. She has 600 armor. So that means that you should really pour a lot of your effort into raising your armor, and to get mileage out of your armor, you would want to increase your health. She only has 50 shields, so you wouldn't want to look into shields that much. So, one more example. So Trinity. Trinity is a great support frame. So, Trinity also has 15 armor. Now, she has 100 health and 100 shields. So this would be a frame where you would want to invest in shields, because you don't have a lot of armor, and since you don't have a lot of armor, you wouldn't be getting a lot of benefit to your health. However, there's a third or a fourth option that you could do. If you are not getting a lot of benefit from your armor and not getting a lot of benefit from your health, you could instead do a little bit of shields and a little bit of health. There are mods like that called Vigor, and Vigor will give you a small amount of both. Let's find one right now, shall we? Yeah, here it is, Vigor. Vigor increases your shield capacity by 120% and your health capacity by 120%. So that would be good if you find yourself with the middle of a road kind of frame, where they don't have any extreme values for you to invest in. So, for most of you, you will be starting with one of the 3 starter frames that appear in this picture, which is Excalibur in the middle, Mag on the right, and Loki on the left. Loki is stealth, Excalibur is damage, and Mag is also damage and crowd control. Now, we'll go into those deeper in another video. So, let's look at each of their values just to address it. Excalibur we already looked at. He has high armor, and he has average health and shields. So that means armor and health. Okay, now we will go to Mag. Well, here's Loki first. Okay, Loki. Okay, he's got pretty low armor, 65. He's also got pretty low health and shields. Okay, so 75 health, 75 shields. So on him, since that armor, the magic number where you really want to start investing into armor is 200. Anything over 200, you're going to get really good returns from investing inside of your armor. Anything below that, that's more up to your choice. So on him, I would say invest in your health and your shields both, since they both need some help. So nice health and shield mod would be good on there, like Vigor. Alright, and here is Mag. Mag 65 armor as well, so she's got 75 health, but 150 shield. Since she has 150 shield, you can look at that and say, alright, so that's her strongest value. So you would want to invest in shields on your Mag. And that is how you determine what direction your base survivability should be on your Warframes. Now, of course, there's other ways you can increase your survivability. If you got really good at the movement mechanics in this game, or parkour, you'd be so hard to hit that you wouldn't have to really worry about getting stuck on things like I just did. So you could move around the bullets so that you wouldn't have to worry about being hit. Other things that you could do, you could invest in health droppers and energy droppers and shield droppers. They're little deployables that you can make here at your foundry in order to increase your survivability even more. Also, don't be afraid to lean on your teammates. There's a lot of good support frames in the game and other things that will help keep you alive. So, that concludes our episode of how to stay alive in Warframe at base. We may return to it with some more advanced ideas later, but for right now, we're just going to keep this series at the basics, and then we'll move on to the advanced later. Alright. Moonchild1235 signing off for this episode.